balance and core workout. So you're going to need a loop band, and we're going to do lots of work with the loop band. So you can pick something that's like light, medium to light loop band, and you're going to do a yoga block. And at the very end, I'm going to add some bicep curl overhead press stuff with the balance work if you want to add that in. So, like if you want to pull out some weights, 5 to 15 pounds. And then we're going to do a punch as well, just to warm up the shoulders. So you could grab a band if you're using bands for the punching, or like a 5 to 8 pound weight for the punching to warm up your arms as well. So we are going to do some push-ups today. So Les will give you some options for push-ups. If you have some heavier weights, some of the push-up stuff, if you want to work chest still, is you can do a one-arm chest press on your back, but I'll give you some options for that. So if you want to grab some heavier weights or bands, we can do that as well. Okay, so we are going to get into the core and glutes. I'm going to warn you, it is about 25 minutes of core and glutes, okay, before we get into the balance. So everything should be really firing. So no shoulders, Dom, sorry. Um, 25 minutes of core and glutes. So you should be good and warmed up for the core. You're going to need it, okay? So let's start by just opening up the hips. And what we're going to do is you're going to imagine that you've got this fence here. You're going to try and keep your upper body up as tall as possible. You're going to go underneath your imaginary fence and then up the other side. So you can cross underneath. So as wide as you can get your legs, drop your bum down nice and low, chest stays up, just opening up the hips. And as you warm up, then you can get lower and lower. I'm going to do 10 more. Two more. Excellent. Okay, so we'll grab your yoga block. You always have the option of doing high or low plank for this. So you're going to place the block in between your thighs like that. And we're going to go into a walkout, and we're going to hold it for 20 seconds. So you touch your toes, walk all the way out. You're either staying in that high plank like that and squeezing your block, or you can drop down to your elbows. Okay, everybody down. We're going to start counting in 3, 2, 1. So 1. Abs are tight and squeeze the block. If you want to make it harder, you can drag your elbows back, or your heels of your hand back, palms of your hand towards your toes to engage your lats as well. Pull your belly button in and squeeze the block a little bit more for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now your goal is to stick your bum up towards the ceiling and then walk your hands all the way back. Okay. You're going to take the block, you're going to take it down to the floor, and you're going to place it back between your thighs again. Now you can place your hands on the floor and put your head down. I'm going to place my hands behind my head to lift my head up. If you want to do that, you can. It does engage your upper abs as well a little bit more. Okay, but what you're not doing is cranking on your neck. So now I want you to squeeze the block together, bend your knees, and move your knees away from your chest. So already you should feel your core engaging. Okay, we're good there. Now lower your heels down together. Don't let your back arc, and slowly bring it up. So we've got 10. The slower you go, the better. 9, meaning the harder it is. 8, keep squeezing the block. 7, we're trying to engage your adductors, your inner thighs. 6, so that we can use them for the lunges that we're going to do later and all the balance work. You got 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Take the block out. Hopefully you've got your band close by. You can stay on the floor and put it on your knees. Okay, so you're going to pick one side. I'm going to go on my right side. Now you have 3 options actually. We're going to do a side plank. So you want to double up your man for your elbow. So first one is you're on your knee like that. Second one, a little bit harder, is your legs are straight. And third one, stack your feet on top of each other, hips go up. Okay, everybody up. Now with your arm, you can put on your hip, you can bring it up, do whatever you like. 20 seconds starting now. Good, so draw the belly button in. You should feel this on the right side, right core. We've got 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, everybody go down onto your hip. Everybody bend your knees, okay? So now what we're gonna do is working the glutes and your external obliques on the right side. You're gonna lift back up on your knees though, lift your top leg, close it, lower the hip down without dropping the shoulder. Now, Les, if that bothers your shoulder, what you're gonna do, or anybody, you're gonna do clamshells like that. So opening up the knee like that if it bothers your shoulder, okay? You can go down. Okay, everybody else, lift the hip up, leg goes up, leg goes down, hip goes down. Hip goes up, leg goes up, leg goes down, hip goes down. 2, 3, draw the belly button in. 4, 5, 6, get 4 more. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lay on your back. We'll do the other side in a second. We're going to do heel drops. So your legs are back in. The band should be above your knees. Same idea, hands on the floor, hands behind your head, engaging your upper abs. Move your knees away from you. Stretch the band. Move from the hip, heel drops. Touch your heel to the floor. Bring it up and alternate to the other side. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, same idea. Slower is better. 4, 5, pull the pelvic floor up. Draw the belly button in. 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, roll over to the other side. So we're on our left side. Starting with the side plank. So you're either on your knee, your feet are staggered, or your feet are stacked, your choice. Everybody up onto the sides of your feet, hips are up. Here we go, 20 seconds. 15 seconds. Draw the belly button in, push your hips up a little higher. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody drop the hips down. If you're not using your shoulder, then you can go into clamshells, opening up the top leg. Everybody else, you're gonna lift your hips up, lift the top leg up, close the top leg, drop it down. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Good, flip over onto your belly. So now everyone's gonna go into a low plank. If you want, you can do a high plank actually, but we're gonna do lots on the shoulders, so you may wanna give yourself a break. So you're in a low plank, you're gonna hold that. You get 2 options here. You hold the whole time, or you're gonna step out to the side, band should still be above your knees, and step back. Step out to the side and step back. Okay, so we're gonna do 20 steps, or just hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, draw the belly in. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Everybody's gonna lay down on the right side, and you can lay all the way down, fully chill out with your knees bent, belly buttons drawn in. We're gonna do figure 8. So I want you to put your hand on top of your hip. What I don't want to see is rocking back and forth like that. So when you lift your leg up, this hip's going to stay even. We're going to externally rotate, so the knee's going to go up without rocking back. Lift your foot up, internally rotate by having the foot come up and the knee go in. Okay, so here we go. So we've got 1, 2, you should feel this on the top of your glute, the side of your hip. 4, we're going to go for 15. Draw the belly in. Don't just hang out there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. After 15, if your bum is not burning, really try to focus on squeezing your glute to make the action happen. You're not just swinging your leg back and forth. Okay, so have a bit more intention. And do the other side. Same idea, knees are bent. Lift your top leg up. Knee goes in, heel goes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Flip over onto your stomach. You have the choice now of a low plank or high plank. If you're doing a low plank, you're doing arm extensions, reaching out one arm at a time. If you're doing a high plank, you're going to touch one shoulder. So you're going to reach over, touch a shoulder, put your foot down, touch the other shoulder. Okay? So choose one or the other. We're doing 20 total, or you can just hold. Here we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try not to rock your body. 7, 8. Draw the belly in. 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Go slower. 2, 2, and 1. Okay, I believe. Oh, we got one more. I'm gonna almost take it off. One more with the band. We're doing a fire hydrant. If you have wrist issues, you can place your hands like fists, like that, right? Arms are straight, belly is tight, and you just bring your leg out to the side. So if your band has been sliding up your thighs, bring it back down to the tops of your knees. Okay, and we have 15 on each side. Draw your belly in so that when you lift your leg up, we don't do this. Okay, keep your body nice and still. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll do the other side. I'll give you a break after this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Abs are tight, arms are straight. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And you're still on the floor. Take the band off. Don't throw it away. We're going to use it later on in the workout. You can grab some water if you would like. We're not done the ab set yet. I'm just going to give you a bit of a break because I went nonstop on that one. When you come back, bring your yoga block with you if you don't already have it. Halfway through here. So place the block in between your thighs like that. And we're going to lean back. Now, if you ever have any back issues, you can always put your hands down. You're still going to work your abs. Okay? But so that's one option. Second option is you hold on to your legs and hold them there. Everybody up. I'm going to start counting. I'll give people options as we go. Yeah, there we go. 30 seconds. Now take your hands up if you'd like. Now, only if you have the range of motion and you don't round your back, start to move your hands up. Once you get to a point where you're like this, go back down again to where you still can keep your chest up. Now squeeze the block with your thighs. We're already halfway through. 15 seconds left. Try and get the shins parallel to the floor. Bring your knees in a little closer to save your hip flexors. Draw the belly button in. Sit up a little taller. Squeeze the block a little bit more. For 5, squeeze. 4. You got it. 3, 2, and 1. Woo. And block goes off to the side for a second. We're doing pendulums. So for this one, if you're not able to put your hands, or anybody not able to put their hands for a while, you're going to do bicycle crunches, slow, really slow ones. Now this one here is the pendulum. So I'll show you from the side. We've done this one before, where we're going to try and get the right knee towards the right elbow. And the more, if you can actually touch, it's going to work it harder. If you can't touch, no big deal, just go for that elbow. Come back to the right elbow and then back, and that's counted as 1, okay? So we're going to do 4 on each side. Try not to sink into the shoulders, push yourself away. If you need to take a break, please take it. Here we go. So right side, right elbow, left elbow, right elbow, back. That's 1. Right, left, right. That's 2. Right, left, right. That's 3. We got 1 more. Right, left, right. That's 4. Right to the other side. Left elbow, right elbow, left elbow, straight. Left, right, left. That's 2. Left, right, left. That's 3. Hold on. 1 more. Left, right, left, and back. If you can sit up, or if you're able to sit on your heels, go for it, and just shake out your arms, your hands. You can do circles with your wrists. Okay, for the last ab one here, I want you to pick whichever one you would like, either high or low plank. Okay, you're going to do it one more time. The block is going to go between your thighs, and we're going to do a extension, and so everyone's going to reach their arms out this time. So we're in a low plank and reach, or a high plank and reach. Okay, if you had enough on your wrists, go down into a low plank. So up we go. Thigh block between your thighs. When you reach your arm up, try not to let the hip come up. Okay, put it back down. Other side. 2, 3. If it can't go up by your ear, that's okay. Bring it up to the side. 4, 5. Bring your head back and up. 7. Look straight above your yoga mat. 9, 10. When you bring your hand under, bring it back right underneath the shoulder. We've got 8 more. Squeeze the block. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Okay. Block goes off to the side. We're going to do some fun ones for pure balance here. So first one is the jump test. You're going to need a little bit of space. So you see I've cleared everything out here. So we're going to do heel toe. So the idea is you're going to put your hands on your hips, so you're not using your hands for balance. The first part should feel easy, and it's going to get harder. So you're going to touch your heel to the toe of the foot, and heel toe. Try and sit up nice and tall and not look down. Okay, so we're just going to go heel toe until you run out of room in your room. Everybody's doesn't have a ton of space. Now, when you go back, now your toe is going to touch your heel, and you're going to walk backwards. Okay, a little bit more difficult. Good. If you don't have lots of room, please clear some room, because we're going to do a bunch of these walking forward and back, making them more difficult as we go. So clear some space. One more time, heel toe. Now try not to look down. Just feel it. And feel how your foot is placed on the ground. And then we go backwards. That's it. Good. Think about your core. Are you using it to help you with the balance? Okay. Now come to the center of your room. What I'd like you to do is stand with your heel in front of your toe again. Okay. Now at any point in time, if you need to take your hands off your hips, you can. I want you to tighten up your abs. So think about that. Just a gentle hold. Now you're going to see if you can get balanced. Ruby, you've done these before. Once you feel like you've got your balance, I'm going to give you a couple of tips. I'm going to get you to close your eyes. before you close your eyes is find something to focus on right now and actually look at it. When you close your eyes, pretend that that object's still there. The second that you close your eyes, your body's going to panic. It's going to want to throw you off. So try to slow your breathing down, steady in, steady out. And the more you slow it down, the calmer you get, and the more you just engage the core, eventually it'll just stop the overreacting and the overfall, like twisting off to one side. Okay, so everybody try to close your eyes. And if you don't want to close your eyes, you don't have to. You can just stay there. I'm going to count for about 20 seconds here. And you can kind of count your breaths will help. The other trick that I found that kind of helps is you can kind of rock and move your weight back and forth between your toe and your heel. So instead of trying to be perfectly still, try to find, a little bit of a movement that you can move your body through so it doesn't have to try to, it doesn't overcorrect. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, now shake that out. Now you do the other side. Your brain's going to be all confused, so it's going to feel awkward again. So don't go right to closing your eyes, especially if you were good on the other side and you were really confident. Give yourself a few seconds to balance here with your eyes open. Focus on something, draw the belly in, and try and get the bounce from the core. All the little proprioceptor muscles in your ankle and your feet should be firing. So your ankle should be starting getting really tired, maybe your toes. That's it. Go for 10 more seconds. Focus on your breathing. That's what's going to bring you down. It's going to relax you. The more you can relax into it, the easier it gets. So almost you find a little bit of a balance and you're like, oh my God, I got it. And then you fall over. Good. Okay. And then open your eyes. Now we're going to do a walking lunge. I haven't been doing this because we didn't think we'd have much space. So I'm going to try not to hit my head. Now the goal is I want you to put your hands on your hips. I'm going to show you from the front, even though I have more space there. What I'd like you to do is, and I'm not going to count it, I don't want you to do it on your own time. This is what I'm looking for, is when you come forward, your hips are even. So you're going to go into a lunge. You're going to push off and take a step, and go into a lunge. Push off and take a step. When you reach the end of your room, now this is the hard part, don't take a big step back. I want you to lunge down, push off that front leg, and then lunge down. If you go too fast, it's going to look like, this, a little monster walk. So your goal is to keep your hips even as you walk forward and back, okay? So you're dropping down, abs are tight, core is tight. I'm going to try and go crosswise so I can get a few more in. And then when you go back, nice. The reverse ones are tough. You're pushing off the front leg and try not to take a huge step back, or then you're going to drop down and you feel like you're doing the splits. So take smaller steps. Nice. Lauren Duncan, do you know where we're going with the next one? Good. Everybody's looking good, looking strong. Do 30 more seconds. So we got a little balance through movement. Last 10 seconds. Good. Hold it together. Once we get distracted, you find your hips drop off to the side, or if you start looking at me, it'll throw you off usually. Good. And then wherever you are, just finish it off. Excellent. Okay. This next one we've done a while back. For those of you who have issues with your wrists or not able to put weight on your wrists, you can do a low plank and any sort of other ab exercise that we had before. You can do a one side sit up, you can do bicycle crunches, because we're going to go into a bear crawl. I'm only going to do one set, so I'm not going to leave you out for the whole workout. Now, what a bear crawl is you're lifting up your knees. We're in that high plank position. The hand, right hand, left leg are going to move together. You're going to lift them up, put them down together. Right, left hand, right foot lifts up and put down. Lift up and put down. Now, going forward is quite easy or easier. Going backwards, same thing, smaller steps. You're gonna push up. If you don't pick up and put down at the same time, then you're gonna start to run away from your hands are gonna be way out, your legs are gonna be way out. So a little bit of a brain tease. Here we go. We're gonna do 1 minute, bear crawl forward and back, or any sort of ab exercise you would like to do in this 1 minute. Abs are tight. Your goal is to keep your back as flat as possible to the floor. So we're not piking your bum up. You keep your core tight. This is going to get your heart rate up as well. You can take a break in between if you would like. Go slow and focus. Doesn't have to be fast. If you lose it, just start over again. It gets all messed up. 15 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Grab some water. You can shake out your wrists. You can do some circles with the wrists, one direction. So core and abs is done. They are done. And then if you want with your fingers, you make fists and then flick your fingers out. Get some blood back into those hands. Let your heart rate come back down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So we're going to move into the balance, the full balance set. So this we're going to want maybe have some weights for later on. We're starting with the yoga block. Now, the key to this whole balance series is try to not take a break between. Try not to put your foot down in between. If you need to, please do. Don't fall over. If you need to take some breaks, I'm going to keep adding. So when you get to a point where you're like, I've had enough, then just take a break and then try to come back in. Okay. Now, I'm also not going to count at all. And I don't want you, if you can look at me, but sometimes that will throw you off. So I'm going to try and really cue it so that you can focus on something on the floor instead of getting thrown off. And if I fall over, then you're probably going to fall over too. So we'll see how I do. We're going to put the yoga block down and you're going to put your left knee on the block. So we've done these before, some of them, most of them, and so I'm going to keep adding to all the stuff we've been working on for the last couple of months with the balance. It's going to work your right glute and right quad. So know that they're going to burn. As soon as we're done, I swear the pain will go away. Okay. So know it's temporary. It's not going to break anything. So we're going to lean forward. So most of the weight's all in this right leg, and you're going to hover on the back leg. Now bring your arms up to as far as they can go without arcing your back. And if that's here, that's great. Just leave them there. Okay. Now, if you can't bring your arms up, you can bring them out to the side, or you can just bring them parallel to the floor, wherever works. Now, we're going to come all the way up, but you're leaning forward still. So all the weight's still in that front leg. My back heel's up. Drop all the way down. Touch your left knee to the block and come back up. So we've got 10. So it's like you're trying to fly forward into the sky. 7, all the weight on that right knee. 6, 5, 4, lean forward a little bit more. 3, 2, and 1. Stay with your legs straight. Take your hands and put them on your hips. Pull your right hip back and your left hip forward so they're square. Now lean forward. You can have your right knee bent. Lean forward and put all your weight on the right foot and bring your left foot up into a single leg deadlift. Now we're going to hold this. Draw your belly button in. Pull your left hip down. Right hip goes up. Hold that for 5. Belly in. 4. breathe. 3, remember even breathing to get your balance. 2, 1, stay here, swing all the way up, stand up and bring your left knee with you towards your chest. You're standing up tall, your left knee is bent, and your hands could be on your hips. You can bring them out if you need to balance. And a hold for 5. At any point in time, if you have the flexibility you'd like to, you're going to extend your knee, straighten out your leg as much as you can. For 4, 3, 2, don't go away. When I'm done here, we're going to go back into a lunge. And 1, bend your knee again, step back, put your foot down and drop your knee back down into the block. How did we do? Oh, good? Okay. Let's switch to the other side. We'll give that one a break. We're going to do 2 on each side. Okay. So walk over the whole thing again. So hover your back knee off the block. Bring your arms up. Lean forward. So all your weight's on the left leg. So it's like we're trying to push ourselves forward. Drop your right knee down to the block. Stand all the way up. So we're doing a static lunge. For 10, 9, just waking up that left glute, left quad. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand up tall. Place your hands on your hips. Tilt, hinge forward at the waist. Lift up your back leg so you're in like an airplane. Your straight leg back, single leg deadlift. Pull the right hip down and pull the left hip back. So your hips are parallel to the floor, horizontal to the floor, and they're even, so you're not opening up. If you want to pigeon toe your right foot, that will help keep your foot going straight down instead of out to the side and help your right hip come down. Draw the belly button in a little bit more. Relax your breathing. Inhale, exhale. Now stand up tall. Bring your right knee in with you up towards the chest. We're either holding it for 10 seconds here like this, or you're going to extend the leg out as much as you can. If it looks like that, that's totally fine too. Or just keep it bent. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, abs tight. Don't round your back. 2, and 1, bend the right knee, step back, and then put your knee all the way down to the block. Woo! Okay, stand on up, shake the legs out. Okay, let's go to the other side one more time. I'll give less cues this time. So left knee down. Lean forward. Hover, bring your arms up. Now get more of a line so you really feel that glute and that quad burn. Good. Stand all the way up without straightening your arms. So you're still reaching forward. Good. Drop down and up. So 10, 9. So you should feel all on the right leg. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay at the top. Now you can put your hands on your hips if you want, or keep them here. Lean forward and then reach forward so you're looking like a full T. Or you can bring your arms out like an airplane. If you want to put your hands back on your hips, you can. Everybody's going to try to pull their left hip down and their right hip up so that their hips are even. Pigeon toe your left foot and breathe. 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Bring your knee in towards your chest. Hands can be up in the air or on your hips or out to the side. Now you're going to stay like that or straighten out your leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the left knee again. Take a step back and then drop all the way down. Yes, impressive. Yeah, you guys are amazing. Let's do the other side. Are we sweating? Okay, other side. So leaning forward on the left leg, hover the right, bring the arms up. Once we get that, now you drop the knee down all the way up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, lean forward, 2, 1, stay up tall. Lean all the way forward, put all your weight on the left knee, and it should be slightly bent, shouldn't be locked, okay? Pull your right hip down, left hip up. Hands are up by your ears, out to the side like an airplane, or on your hips, wherever you would like them. You're gonna hold for 5 more seconds. See if you can get your upper body down a little bit closer to the floor so that you're in that full T. Pull your right hip back down. 2 and 1. Stand up tall. Bring your right knee in with you towards your chest. 10 seconds here. Either like this or straighten out your leg for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that right knee. Here you go. Step back and then go all the way down. Woo! And then bring it all the way down. Stand up, shake it up. We're going to do a nice, easy one for the brain. You're either going to grab a band or a 5 or 6, 8 pounds, something light for punching. And we're going to go underneath the fence. So we're warming up the shoulders a little bit, opening up the hips one more time. So depending on how much weight, I just doubled up mine. If you don't want that heavy a weight, just do a single. So we're underneath the fence. You're going to punch twice, underneath the fence, punch twice. Make sure it's not too heavy because we're going to do 40 punches. Here we go. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 20. Okay. Now we're going to go into push-ups. If you have, you're really strong in your push-ups, you're going to keep your band with you. And I'll show you later of how you're going to do that. Actually, I can show you right now. If you're really strong in your push-ups, then you're going to place the band behind your back and you're going to do everything with your band like that. Okay, so that when you push up, you're going to stretch the band and have more resistance. Okay, so that's if you want to add more. I'm making it hard though. So if you have shoulder issues, you're going to lay on your back and you're going to do a 1-arm chest press. We're not doing a lot. We're only doing 6 push-ups total. We are going to do a tricep push-up later, just to warn you, Les. I see you're getting ready for that. So you'll just do 2 sets of tricep push-ups if you want to do that. Okay, so everybody down onto the floor. What we're going to try is I want everyone to lay on their belly and bend their knees. If you have really strong push-ups, you can go onto your toes, but maybe start on your knees first. You have to go down to the floor each time. You're going to lift your bum up so you can't push through your hips and do the worm. And from here, you're going to push the ground away and lift up. If you're on the toes, it looks exactly the same. Your thighs are off the ground and your bum's off the ground, and then lift yourself up. Okay. When you come down, you have to fully rest. You don't get any momentum. Okay. So that's why I said if you have the band, it'll look like this. You do the exact same thing. It's adding a third element. Hips are up, and then you press. Okay, so we got 6. Pick one. Everybody down, elbows up high. Lift their hips up, press. You've got 1. All the way down and rest. Hips are up, press. That's 2. All the way down. Hips are up, press. That's 3. Halfway down. Hips are up, press. That's 4. When you press, make sure your abs are tight. Lift up. That's 5. 1 more. Lift your hips up and press. That's 6. Now I'm going to use this band. If you have a choice between band or weights, please pick weights. It gives you a little bit more flexibility and you may run out of room on your band. Maybe I'll actually pick this one because it's longer so I can show everything. We're going to do a single leg deadlift with a bicep curl, optional overhead press. So I would pick something light. We're only going to do 10 aside. Something light that you cannot be too challenged with the weights with your shoulders, and you can do this without any weight at all, okay? So if you have issues with the single leg deadlift, just work on the balance today. What it looks like is if you're holding onto the bands of the weights, single leg deadlift. We already did that today. Knee up, we just did. We're holding that, which we did already. Now we add a bicep curl, overhead press, bring it back down, and then kick it back out. If you want to put it down in between, you can. Okay? Now, please don't rush. Go as slow as you need to. Try 8 to 10. I'll tell you when I'm getting close. If you want to just go for as long as it takes me to do 10, that's totally fine too. You don't have to worry about counting. Now, you don't have to do the bicep curl and overhead press. You can just hold it like we did in the previous one. You already know you can hold this. I've seen you guys all do it. So now we're adding in just a little bit of weight while you're holding that single leg lift, single leg hold. You don't have to extend the leg this time. Trying to make sure that when you're in the single leg deadlift, your hips are both facing the floor. Your left leg should be burning. That is completely normal. That's what we're looking for. Go, yes, I know I'm doing it right. Let's try 3 more. You guys are doing amazing. Calf is burning. Feet are burning. Toes are on fire as they're gripping the ground. Try and do 1 more. Yeah. Okay. Walk that one out. And it's amazing. It feels so bad when you're doing it. As soon as you're done, you're done. It all goes away. Now you don't have to add the bicep and overhead press. You can just hold it and hold it for about 2 or 3 seconds and go right back into the single leg deadlift. Okay, other side. You're looking for a stretch on the hamstring. You want to keep the abs really, really, really tight when you kick that leg back. And remember, we're looking for that T shape. So hinging forward at the waist. Go slow. Go as slow as you need to work on the form. The more you draw the belly in, the more it's going to help your balance. About halfway. Try and find a pattern with your breathing. Got 2 more to go. Last one. Nicely done. Shake it out. I'm going to give your legs a break again. We're going to do a tricep push-up. So triceps are small little muscles that you're going to lift your whole body with. So we're going to use the band to give you some resistance. So in this one, the heavier the band is, the more it's going to help you. So if you may want to go to a heavier band. The lighter it is, the least it's going to help you. Now you're placing it above your elbows. It's kind of hard when you get sweaty. So it's going to hit your chest, okay? Ideally a little bit below the breast so it doesn't hurt. So it's going to hit your rib cage and it's going to help push you up. So we're going to do that exact same thing. So I'll show you from this side so that you can see the ribs. There's no space between my triceps and my ribs. I'm going to press straight up. So most people are going to be on their knees. Do the same thing. Go all the way down. Make sure your bum stays up and push straight up. Now, One last thing before you get started. Watch my shoulders. So as soon as people go down, their shoulders go like this, and they're up by their ears, and this comes all into the shoulders, and it really hurts. So what I want you to think of is pull the shoulders down, squeeze your lats, keep your chest open, and push yourself away so they don't roll forward. Okay? So you're either on your toes or on your knees. We're gonna do 6. So drop down. So you've got 6, 5, go slow. 4, 3, shoulders back. 2, and last one. Nice. Good. Now, if you don't have a weight, if you don't have weights at all, you can grab anything. I've got a deflated ball. If you have weight, grab a weight, but anything that you can swing from side to side. And it can be a soup can, it can be a shoe. I want to, ideally, the more weight it is, the better. So we're going to go through balance through movement again. So what it looks like, you're holding whatever your object is above you, like this. And I'm going to move it into my right hand. My right leg's going to stay there. I'm going to swing. Now, as soon as I do that, my body's going to go, whoa! So we've done all this core work. So as soon as you pull here, I want to see your body perfectly straight without your hip popping out. Okay? Now, here's the key. Good. That's it, Dom. That was a good example. So come here. Yeah. Now tighten up the abs. Bring it up. And then, lest you won't be able to do it with the other hand, because you just switch it and place the other hand, and we go to the other foot. Yes, a little brain teaser. Bring it up, and then swing. So it's swinging over top of the leg that's staying forward. Here we go. Keep your chest up and go slow. Drop straight down. Now shoulders back. Look up a little bit. The ground's not going anywhere. Unless if you would like, you could just keep swinging, keep the weight in the one hand. So yours will just always look like the same thing without switching. It's going to get your heart rate up. So don't think you're out of shape if your heart rate's starting to beat. Now, when it does, then you start to lose the balance. Hold it together. Try and find a rhythm with the breathing. I'm going to go 10 more. Abs tight. Got 2 more. You're doing great. Last one. Brilliant. Whoo-wee. Take a little breather. Okay, we're going to go back to push-ups. Now, this is only we're only going to do a second set here. So if you want to do another, we're going to do triceps as well, but if you want to do 2 sets of triceps, you can. If you don't like doing the elbows out wide, you can totally do that. Also, if you have wrist issues, you can take the weights like this and place them on the floor like that so that your wrists are neutral. Okay, and if anybody else wants to do that as well. I'm going to put my hands like this so my elbows can go out wide if you want to use weights. And go a little further back. Now, so everybody go down to the floor, all the way to the floor. Lift your hips up. If your legs are straight, your thighs have to come off the ground as well. Push yourself up. 1, all to the floor. Lift the hips up. Press, that's 2. All to the floor. Hips are up. Press, that's 3. All to the floor. Hips are up. Press, that's 4. All to the floor. Hips are up. Press, that's 5. All to the floor. Hips are up. Press, that's 6. If you want to keep going to 10, I'm going to give you a little break here. So keep on going. Oh, look at you guys go. Nicely done. Only to 10. I need your shoulders for this next one. So we're going the single leg deadlift with a bicep curl. Now, I know some people have some issues with the deadlift, so I'm going to give you another option. If you don't want to do the deadlift again, we're going to do the same idea. It's going to be a lunge, bicep curl, overhead press, and drop back down. Okay? So a little bit more of a strength workout, a little less balance. So either you're lunging or deadlift. If you're lunging, got the weights at your side, leg goes back, bring the knee up, bicep curl, press. Try to release the arms all the way down before you reach back, if you can. It makes it a little longer for your balance. So if you're getting tired and you want to kick back as your arms go back, that's fine. Find a pattern with your breathing. I'm halfway. Burn, burn, burn. Keep going. 2 more. Woo-wee. Shake it out. Shake it out. Walk it out. Other side. You know where we're going. If you want to go right into it, go for it. If you need a bit more time, let your heart rate come down. Come in whenever you feel ready. Halfway. If your arms are getting tired, just skip the overhead press. Just go into the bicep curl, or you can skip the bicep curl as well. Last 2, just keep the deadlift going. Work that leg. Woo! Put the weights down, shake it out. We're doing tricep push-ups. So you got the band. I'm trying to bring it above the elbows. Your triceps stay close to the rib cage. Okay, so we're going to try 6 to 10 all the way to the floor. Last one here. Hands in close. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shoulders down. And 10. Band goes off to the side. Grab your weight. We have 30. This is our last one. 30 reverse lunge with a swing. So you're passing the weight from side to side. Okay, so you start with your hands above your head. Right arm goes back, left leg goes back. So opposites. And once you get started once, you'll get the pattern. Perfect. 1, 2, go slow. Abs are tight. 3. Hips go down evenly. Looking good. That's 10. Focus on dropping the hips evenly. Get into that glute. Doesn't want to, wants to get away from it. That's 20. Last 5. Bring the abs back in. 2 and 1. Whoo! Keep your weight. Put it in the middle of the floor. Grab some water. Very nicely done. So all that work, especially if you had bare feet, really gets all the little muscles in the feet to start to ache. Yes. So what I'm going to use, if you have a ball, you can use it, of lacrosse ball or tennis ball. But I've got the weight here, so I'm just going to use it to massage my feet. So I'm going to start the heel, putting my foot. It's hard to see in the camera, but I've got the weight down on the floor, and my heel is going to go on the handle. I'm just going to put weight on it. A little massage of the arch of the foot. Lindsay, you got to do this one. You'll love it. Just massaging the arch of your foot. So everybody, even though we didn't do very much cardio, everybody should be pretty sweaty. It's amazing how the brain is forced to work like that and all those tiny little muscles, how much your body works. Let's go to the other foot if you haven't done already. It should feel nice. Make sure you get right underneath the toes as well. And then we're going to do a stretch for the glutes. You can do, if you want to lay down, you can do a figure 4. I'm going to do it seated. So sitting on the floor, crossing your ankle over top, all the way over top of the knee. And if you're sitting, try to walk your chest as close as you can to your leg. And then you're going to try to push everybody, whatever is your leg down or sitting, your left knee is going to go, or whatever knee is up is going to go away from your chest. And then we're going to do big circles with your ankle. So we're going to get some movement through the ankle as well. I'm going to go to the other direction. So in a lot of these balance exercises as well, you notice that your low back feels a little fatigued. Fatigue is good because we are working the low back. It is part of your core. Pain is not good. So it's either you've gone a bit too much or the core was not firing and it went into the low back. So try to watch out for that. It's a tough one to watch out for. Switch to the other side, because you don't really notice it until the end. You don't notice it while it's happening. So it's just something to know. If you you always get low back pain when we do single leg deadlifts or any sort of these balance workouts. You need to do a little bit more deep core work, not the abdominal work, not the crunches, but that heel drops, planks, the drawing in, and into sort of the Supermans, bird dogs, 2-point plank, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to do one stretch for the low back. It'll be a child's pose. If you want to stay in a figure 4 stretch, you can. If you don't need it, And the child's pose is on your knees, your hands go forward. I like to have my knees out wide and my feet together. Gets into my low back a little bit more. And then arms go out straight and then drop your head down. I can feel some tension in my low back. If you have continued low back pain or it gets worse, please roll your glutes on a roller or tennis ball, or we're going to actually finish off with a hip flexor stretch, just so that we make sure that those are loosened up and you don't have any low back pain. And so everybody up, one knee down, one leg forward. You're going to place your hand on top of the front knee, drop down, make sure that tail is tucked in, belly's being pulled forward by a string, and then keep pushing that knee away so we're getting into that hip flexor. Usually that's enough. If you want to add an arm, you can. My arms are kind of tired. I don't really feel like having them up above my head. So I'm just going to stay here and just focus on that hip flexor. So what you're trying to do is that C, right? So your hip flexor goes to the top of your thigh into your abs. So as much of a rounding as possible to get into it. If you're like this and leaning really far forward, you're like, I don't feel anything. It's because you're not getting into that rounding. So you can lean forward as long as your chest is able to come back. That's it. If you want to give a little push to your butt cheek, that will make it even harder or more intense. And if you're like, I've had enough, just stay where you are. You don't need to keep going. If you have one side that's really tight, you can stay there. If you don't, you're kind of even, switch to the other side. Same thing, ease into it, don't force it. And as it relaxes, you can keep going a little bit deeper. Make sure you tuck that tail in, chest goes back, or it can stay forward. It doesn't need to go back. You don't have to arc your back too much as long as you're getting that pull on the hip flexor. It's kind of a funny thing as well as if you don't look at your foot because you'll probably fall over, is if you play around with your foot and change how it's placed on the floor, you'll notice it changes the stretch in the quad and the hip flexor as well. So even just shifting, turning your toe in, turning it out. If your toe is pointed, make it flat. If it's flat, point it. Play around with it a little bit and you can see how much it changes the hip flexor stretch for you. Good. Nicely done. Very impressive. That was a huge, huge, huge